Hello, friends. So today our dear friend, Dr. Aditi Rupani and Dr. Nirupama Agarwal, they will be sharing an interesting case and will demonstrate how using all their tools and knowledges, they have come to an understanding of the case and the remedy. So welcome, Dr. Aditi. Please share your case.
Thank you, Kushala. And yeah, Anita, please share my PPTs. Yeah, thank you, Anita. Yes, friends. So today we are discussing a remedy, Oyster. Maybe relatively new for a few people, but I'm sure at the end of the lecture you won't find it that way, and you will definitely learn it. I try and explain it as much as we can, and as our team, we will try to explain this remedy more. So this is a case of a 40-year-old female, and she complained to me about polymenorrhagia. So she was getting very frequent menstruation. Every 15, 17 days, she would get the period, and then she would bleed for 10, 12 days. So practically, she was bleeding through the month. So profuse menses every 2 weeks, big clots for 4 to 6, then followed so initially only clots will come, then followed by profuse flow. This was the pattern since last 6 months it was going on. And for this complaint she had presently consulted me, but actually she has been my patient since last 10 years and treated for various ailments. So she has been on and off treated for menstrual problems, giddiness, blackouts, weakness, anxiety issues, and muscular spasms, and so on. She said she feels very drained due to the chief complaint. In general also, she would always complain of fatigue. And that has been always her complaint. With any complaint, her associated thing was always very drained out and very fatigued. So that was always associated with any of her physical ailment. Then since last 3 years, now in her history, it was like this. Since last 3 years, she had shifted to USA. Before she was in India. And she didn't want to shift to USA. She was very stable and settled and happy in India. She didn't want to go to US. I don't accept, doctor, I don't accept change in life so easily. I was so well set in India. It's not easy to accept so many drastic changes in the life at this stage of the life. When she had left for US, she was 37. I don't like unsettled life. Here in USA, social life, friends, everything is there. But still, I don't accept it. I'm stuck here. We are alone here. We as a family, she, her husband, and 2 children, they are also grown up. But she said, we are alone here. No other family, extended family is there in US. So, and this is not the first time she has shifted to USA. Before this, before also, once she had shifted to USA from India immediately after her marriage. So twice after marriage, we have shifted to USA and back to India. I don't like this. Now I am 40 years. I want stability in the life. So I have tried and maintained her words and her language as much as possible because this has led me to the remedy. Okay. So now, because of these menstrual problems and bleeding and my mental state and all, I get very angry. I get very angry, especially before menses, and then I weep a lot. I cry a lot. And only my son can console me. I don't like that time my husband or my daughter coming near to me, though the daughter is elder. If family tells me it's not a big thing, it's usual, I get more angry. I tell them, don't ignore me or don't neglect me. Don't belittle me by saying that this is very usual and this is small problem. What I am suffering, I only know. And if I don't remove my anger or if I suppress it then it would reveal in my dream. Even during deep sleep and in the dream, she would shout and she would get up in the anger tone. Even the husband would realize that she is shouting, but she is sleeping and it is happening in the dream. That much of suppressed anger was also making effect on her. Basically, as a personality, she is not an angry type of person. So probably these were changes happening because of present situation and these hormonal changes. My target is my husband and daughter. My son understands me well. He's a big support for me. I'm also getting a lot of panic attacks. I feel very suffocated. I just don't like. I feel I'm going to get throttled. I'm suffocated. Before, I used to travel anywhere in the world. I would enjoy that. There is no fear in me to travel alone or anything like that. So that is not a fear in me at all. There was never any fear of going to new places or anything like that. I enjoyed traveling. But now I am afraid to travel. I feel very claustrophobic. This she was talking especially because she was that time she was traveling many times to and fro US India. So this had come in relation with that. Basically, as a person, I'm introvert. I don't like to share my personal lives and secrets with anybody. I don't like people talking about like this and all. I feel that okay, this is your personal life. Keep it to yourself. You don't need to share it this way in public. So I don't like it, and I don't like even people talking big things and a very megalomaniac things talks. It puts me off. I really don't like it. Basically, I'm a peaceful person. I can't work if someone is on my head. This she was talking in terms of she was going little to and fro. So she was talking also when she was staying here in India with her mother-in-law and joint family. So she never had any issue as such with any in-laws or anything. But she would say that they are very quick people. They are very fast people. And I'm basically slow people. So if she used to feel, it was her feeling that, if they are on my head, I can't do anything. I can't be hurried. I need to do things slowly. Even I eat very slowly. If there is no time, I will tell them. If there is less time, I will tell them that I will not eat. That is fine. But don't ask me to hurry up. I hate show off. And I hate show off and hate showing you down. Now, this was her very personal sensitivity which she was talking about. Maybe the opposite person doesn't mean to show them down, but basically, I felt that she's so close a person that anybody talking anything or anybody talking little bit about their things or their extravagance, she would feel that it is all show off, and I don't like it. I am very simple person, and so that is what she meant by when she said about this showing off thing. Now she has been coming to me since last 10 years. In the past also, she would tell me that she has always been very fearful of fights and quarrels. She is very peaceful person. Even when she is talking to me, any time she would come to the clinic, she has a very decent, peaceful, polite way of talking. She said, I'm afraid of these fights and quarrels. When this happens, I actually tremble. Even if she is not involved, even if two other people are fighting, she trembles. And when I don't like this atmosphere at all, doctor, my hands and feet become cold, absolutely numb and cold. And actually, when she was describing this to me, she said, doctor, just see my hands. And actually, I saw her hands. I actually felt and they had become absolutely cold. So there was nothing, but she could live that experience of fright, and she could again, that relive that whole experience even while just narrating about the whole thing. So that much of sensitivity. Anita, can you just change the slide? Yeah. And another thing, she would, before also, she very initially 10 years back, she had come to me about some menstrual problems only. That time she used to have a very, very scanty period, just a day or so. And she was that time diagnosed with thyroid problem. Now, again, interestingly, that time, that was the first time she had gone to USA after marriage to settle. And there in US, within 3 or 4 months, she got diagnosed with thyroid problem. So here again, settling, unsettling, going to the new country was coming very prominently. Of course, that time I was not aware of this oyster remedy, and I had prescribed her calcarea, which she was responding beautifully. I will again explain later on during the case why from calcarea the need arose to go to oyster remedy. So she was always afraid of menopause. She would tell me, what will happen to me if the menopause will come? I will become absolutely stagnant. And again, during this acute episode of this polymenorrhagia, whatever acute on chronic, she again was telling me the same thing. Doctor, I will become stagnant. I won't be able to do only anything. So then a lot of fear of dental surgeries. So she has dental caries and all. So she has to frequently undergo dental treatment as well. She also had breast fistula, which also again got cured with homeopathy only, calcarea. Also hypothyroidism when she first went to USA after marriage. Now, my observation, she's tall, slightly obese, very beautiful, clear, translucent skin, very soft-spoken and smiling lady. I had treated majorly with her with calcarea, mainly thyroidinum, and once in a while I had to give her NAT MUR as per her complaints. But mainly her remedies were calcarea and thyroidinum. And even her thyroid had come beautifully under control. And at one point of time, for 3 to 4 years, she was managing absolutely without medicine, without even thyroxine medicine. Now, this time, why the need came to change from calcarea to oyster? Because every time before she would talk of, doctor, I am like this, I am lacking, I am soft, I am slow, I have this problem. So it was more of her expression of her inability and her structural inability. That is what I felt, and that is why I felt calcarea, she was responding very well. Calcarea is a mineral remedy. But this time, when she was talking about her menopause, about her this menstrual complaints and all, the complaints were slowly when she was narrating about it. Of course, the complaints were major, but the force, I would say, the force of the language of the patient was coming more like, they are doing this to me. Husband and daughter are not understanding. So, I felt that here a very, very softly, you versus me is coming in her talks, in her narration. So here I felt that now it's a time that I need to move from calcarea to oyster, because oyster and calcarea are very similar remedies. We will explain later. So here I felt that here now the animal trait is been coming, but it is not a strong animal trait. But there were some things which I felt in her narration that I wanted to shift from calcarea to oyster. And yeah, and again, see, so this was one indication where I felt that I will move towards animal remedy. Secondly, very strongly, if you see in her narration, stability was coming. Now I am 40, I need stability. I don't like this kind of moving around from India to US to India. I don't like that. So stability was coming a very strong issue. And we will understand that how oyster has a strong stability issue and security issue. Security, of course, calcarea will also show. But this stability, the strong emphasis on stability made me think of oyster. So her yearning for stability, and again, this numbness, coldness, this introverted nature. Now, these are features of bivalve remedies. Now, I will, in short, little bit explain what is bivalve remedies also. Uh, um, yes. So, I'll just come back to bivalve in a minute. Here, so knowing her as a person, her mildness, her even skin structure, and all, and her stability issues and animal thing, I felt oyster, and I gave her oyster 200. I treated her with oyster 200 initially, 2 doses per week, and later on she started improving. So oyster was given once in 2 weeks, and then once in a month, and she settled very beautifully in 3 cycles. All her polymenorrhagia subsided. She started getting normal cycles. Her irritability, everything reduced drastically. Her anxiety, claustrophobia, even her muscle spasms improved a lot. She could travel very freely, US to India, back US, and they had gone to some holidaying also, so that also she could manage very well. So all other symptoms improved remarkably. And yes, another thing, she started working there. She took up a job and she started working. She said that now I am feeling at home. I am enjoying in US. Later on, as when we were talking, she said, now I feel at home. So for this remedy, it is very important to have a stability and feel at home. So even this remedy can come. That is what my extended feeling comes, that this remedy can come even if you are staying in your home, but if you are not feeling at home, you are not feeling stable in your life, this remedy can come. This remedy can be a phase remedy. This remedy can be a constitutional remedy. It depends on how the case unfolds. So yes, now I will explain little bit here. Oyster is a bivalve remedy from the mollusk group of sea remedies. Now we have we have made one more video of pecten J, which is again a scallop sea remedy mollusk, and there we have a detailed given detailed understanding about mollusk as a group, bivalve characteristics, everything. But here in short, again, for the viewers, for the learners, I will again explain little bit what is mollusk remedies. They are a type of sea remedy, a very primitive kind of, very early development type of remedies, and they are bivalves. And in bivalves, there are frequent, basically mollusk has multiple groups. One of them is bivalve, other is gastropod, another is cephalopod. We are not going in all that detail, but I will stick to bivalves. So mollusk and bivalves. Now, how do we select mollusk first? So mollusks are very primitive, very initial stage of life. They are generally in the soft, very soft body, and there is no bony structure, and they are generally embedded in the two valves of the scallop mollusk. Okay, so they have very primitive nervous system. They are very sensitive, so they have tingling, numbnesses, this kind of complaints we see in bivalves, these vibrations, this coldness, sudden heat, something like that, some sensory impulses we see in bivalves. Then they are very instinctual. uh, there is a very strong sense of life and death in them. Then strong fears, fear of death, fear of claustrophobia, fear of suffocation, we see quite normally in many a times in mollusk remedies. Then strong need to feel safe, secured, because these are all sea remedies. So we are going to see a lot of calcarea and natrum features in this. Then they are self-centered because they are very primitive. They cannot think at large. So they They come across as self-centered, but what I have experienced in my clinical practices, they are not actually self-centered people, but they don't have that larger horizon to think about other people. So that is why they come across as self-centered people. That is what my feeling as experience. Then they have difficulty in establishing relationships. Then they have very weak borders naturally because they don't have much structures in them. And again, this suddenness of emotions, panic, and this extremeness we see in them. They are very small. They are embedded in the most of the time. They are embedded in the shells. Correct. So there is a kind of smallness. There is a sense of smallness and feeling of smallness, that I am small. That feeling is also, we see many times in their talks, we find out this kind of feelings. So, and they are animal remedies, but extremely primitive remedies. So we don't see a very gross level you and me kind of issues in mollusks or bivalves. Very primitive. So more of, a kind of, I would say, a sense of security, or just life. How do I survive? Survival theme you will see in this kind of mollusk people. So, and they basically, their sensitivities, sometimes you feel like a plant sensitivity. So plant-like sensitivity, mineral-like structural problems, when you see these kind of things, along with nervous sensitivity, nervousness, this numbness, tingling, these kind of things, try and think about mollusk remedies. If you are not getting 100% SIMILIMUM in your selected remedy, do think of these remedies. Okay. So, yes. So these are practically themes of stability, settled, unsettled. These are the words they talk about. Safety, security, softness. They can't bear harshness, hurriedness, heavy and light, because shell is heavy to protect them and they are very light inside. So these kind of heavy and light, soft and hard themes. Lost, confused. They are very routinistic people. And psychotic miasm, especially for oyster. And and physical plane, we see a lot of musculoskeletal issues, lot of urogenital system problems. We see in especially a remedy oyster. Now I will just differentiate it with calcarea carb, because I was constantly giving her calcarea carb. She was improving over the years, and here why I felt the need. So calcarea carb is a mineral group. So they'll talk about their deficiencies, their structure issues, their problems in that particular fashion. Structure issues, insecurity, protection, stability, which is calcarea group. They are very fearful. So when we see these kind of things, I think of more mineral, calcarea carb. Again, natrum mur also I'll differentiate, because natrum mur also is a sea remedy, basically. So all these features will come. Again, natrum mur, again, it's a mineral remedy. So mineral features will come. And natrum, as we all know, lot of issues of emotions. Calcarea, a lot of issues of stability, security, family, finances, those kind of things. And natrum has more of a emotional issues, relationships, love, grief, these kind of issues we see more in natrum. So emotions, relationships, dignity, grief, failed love, when these issues we see, the natrum remedy comes. So friends, this is how I had come to oyster, and this is how my understanding went into prescribing oyster. Now I'll invite Dr. Nirupama, and she will give us more detailed understanding about oyster as a remedy.
Thank you, Aditi. So A oyster is called as fixed bivalve. So oyster, as it matures, as it grows, it goes down in the seabed and gets attached to the rock. And it attaches very strongly to the rock, so it will not separate. And that is what is the journey of oyster. They want to settle down, they want to stabilize in their life. So little bit change in their life, it affects them. And typically, if we see this patient also, when first time went to USA, she developed hypothyroidism. Hmm? And her life story is also going US, coming back to India, then going US and coming back. And it is keeping her unsettled. Hmm? That is what is the problem. So oyster is fixed by one and the element is earth. What is earth? You remain on the earth, feeling grounded to the earth. No? Gravity pulls you here. So that is earth element. So we'll understand earth element in short, and then we'll talk about the oyster. So earth element, it represents the existence on this physical world. Feet are firmly rooted on the earth. I feel grounded. Hmm? So stability is a very basic theme uh, in the earth element, and they really work hard towards the stability. So their whole focus is on establishing the structures, systems which will give them security. So they are very stable and steady, deeply rooted, and they're so much rooted that they do not like to change, and it's very difficult to change them. The reactions are very slow, movement is very slow, they don't want to move. And there is a strong desire for routine thing, strong desire for the sameness. They just want to follow the same structure. They're very planned and organized. Okay, I have to go like this only. They're not ready for the change. Hmm? So there is huge resistance for it, and they're very realistic. What they see with their senses, see, this is black and this is white. They only believe in that. They do not think beyond that. So very realistic and extremely material. Money is very important for them because money brings the stability. So you see a lot of hoarding capacity, a lot of possessiveness, collecting things. So all this is earth element. Hmm? So when I see this picture, it goes deep down the seabed and it gets attached to the rock. So oyster, if you see, it looks lot like mineral because it's very, they work towards structured life. They are planners, they organize things. So they look very structured. So that's why you feel they're mineral. So they're lot like calcarea carb, but they're developed in bivalve. It is mature. So many times you see this remedy come up in the menopausal age, climacteric state. What bothers them is unsettling, little bit change, and they then develop the panic. That is what is the earth element. And once they go down, rarely move from that place. The whole focus is from in the settling down, grounding, rocking, anchoring, docking, cementing. Cementing is a very important keyword for the oyster, and there is huge aggravation by any change, especially change in work, change in place, change in home. So all this type of change affects their stability and creates the panic. Mm. So I already told about the routineness, sameness. So because of that, they become very rigid. A lot of OCD they develop, very obstinate, and you see a lot of slow reaction, very laziness. Our patient also very slow in eating, slow in action. So you see a lot of laziness, uh, and basically very strong psychotic remedy. So little bit, I'll tell you about the fire and water. Like we took pectin, which comes under fire element, and if you see Venus is the water element. So if you see water is basically feeler, they work from their feelings, and that's why they're very instinctual, they're very emotional, they're very compassionate, loving. So they work from the heart. While earth, they are very clear. What I see, I will work accordingly. They're very slow, means they will think and act. Well, fire is it's a passion. So fire, you see, there is a need for movement. Earth element, there is no need. They want to remain there. But fire takes you, they want to move. That's why you will see lot of passion, lot of ambition. They want to do so many things in life. And so you see a lot of aggression. You see a lot of animation, hmm, and need to go ahead in life. That is the small difference I felt I should share. And fire element, one more thing, they cannot take anything negative. If you tell them something, they will react harshly. That is also reactiveness. Water is instinctual, while fire is reactive. That is the big some difference. And typically, I felt Aditi's case has lot and lot of oyster theme. Extremely, she was talking about the settlement and unsettlement. And that's why such a beautiful result we got. So if anyone wants to add anything for this, Anita, Kushala,
I think
Aditi.
everything is explained very well by Aditi and you. So just wanted to focus on one thing, that integrated homeopathy is all about using all your knowledges, like Kushala also said. So especially where your cases are stuck, then you have to think what is, comes close to it from different kingdoms or from different themes. But then always, be alert. And these knowledges help you to refine your prescriptions and get 100% results rather than, 90%, 80% partial similar. So in this particular case, Aditi demonstrated how she caught animal theme at a subtle level. And then focus of stability came, and soft and timid, fearful lady with sensitivity to all, external environment changes. Animal theme came from, her behavior with her sister, daughter and husband on one side, and son on other side, who was more understanding. And also, Aditi, I wanted to point out that when she was talking about people who show off,
Sure.
Yes,
so
yes,
there also, it shows a bit of, that me versus you.
True.
People are
True.
putting us down.
Yes.
So that feeling was there.
True.
So from this, from how animal remedy, which is close to calcarea and natrum, and then it opens up your, horizon.
True.
Then you think about mollusks, and in mollusks, what will come?
True.
Plus now the understanding of elements also helps you to narrow down your choice.
True.
So please do watch our pectin video also, because you will see two mollusk remedies together, and it will help you to understand fire element and water element or earth element. And we have covered many sea remedies also, no?
Yes.
Aquamarina
yes.
also we have done. So
Emerald
if you go to
shape.
that, there will be a lot of limestone we have done. So do watch our videos, share, subscribe, and also comment. Anybody wants to add anything?
No, I
With
think.
this, we come to an end. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.